I'm Bea and welcome to Create on the Road. In this video I'm gonna talk about the Authortube Newbie Tag that it was created by Jenna, and I'm gonna link her channel down below. You should obviously definitely check her out. She's very active in the Authortube community. She recently, about 5 months ago in June, made a new newbie tag 2.0. So I'm gonna get right into it. And I think it's perfect way for me to show a bit of myself and what my goals are and what is about writing that I enjoy, so you get to know me better, since obviously this is a new channel and you'll have many questions. Why should I watch her and all of that? So let's start. Number 1, what's your book pitch? Okay, so I actually have 2 books, one which I'm gonna publish actually in November, self-publish, but it's a non-fiction book. It's a book of writing prompts, so we're not gonna mention that. I'm gonna use the pitch for my second book, which is gonna be a romance, and I'm aiming to publish that either in end of January, February. I'm aiming for January, but I'm actually gonna write the full draft this NaNoWriMo. So basically starting tomorrow, I'm gonna start writing the actual draft. I've already outlined everything and brainstormed everything, and it's the first of a series of romance novels, standalone romance novel in the same sort of universe and family and all that. So I've actually got outlines for a lot of the stuff afterwards as well. So anyway, I'm gonna do a different video for the NaNoWriMo. So anyway, this is the book that I'm gonna talk about, and the pitch is a young, rich socialite from one of the richest families in France, and her bodyguard fall in love, which is like, yeah, so original. But actually it's the first of the series, so some of the events that actually bring these two people together are catalyst for changes that are going to be seen throughout the series. So the core of the story and the series is this rich French family who has a lot of obviously really big assets and companies, and there's like CEOs and billionaires and all that world. But in the first book, some of the events that happen that put my main character in danger, and obviously the bodyguard helps her survive and all of that, and are the catalyst for much bigger events that are gonna happen later in the series. This story is about a young, troubled, fragile girl who is spiraling down this party wild life, and the bodyguard actually tries to help her, and together how they can learn to love one another and, you know, trust one another as well. So question number 2, if you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? I would say lonely traveler tries to find pleasure in the small things while expressing her creativity, and hopefully traveling in different locations very often. So 3, what do you usually write? Okay, yes, romance, but my main genre, of at least the oldest genre I've always been attached to, has been fantasy and to some degree science fiction. So I would say mainly speculative fiction and romance. Those are the 2 big genres. And number 4, what's something you'll never write? Fiction wise, probably I want to try pretty much anything. I have so many ideas, hence the writing prompts series that I'm doing. But I have so many ideas in so many genres that I want to try them, as well as try different story types and settings and subgenres and styles as well, because I think it helps with creativity and stretching the writing muscles anyway, even if my main bulk of activity as a writer will be fantasy or romance or whatever. So pretty much, you know, apart from maybe like a statistics book or something like that in non-fiction, but fiction wise I want to try pretty much everything. So number 5, what's your goal for starting an Authortube channel? Well, it's not one single goal. The main reason for starting the channel in general is obviously part of this famous Create an Author platform, but mainly is to connect with readers and other authors, because I just want to have a platform where I can connect with them. And for me, as a really shy person, the video aspect is really quite daunting. So I wanted to also challenge myself, because yes, Instagram or Twitter or other stuff, I'm doing those as well. Like I'm starting them up under this new sort of format of Create on the Road and my names for the writing. But I wanted the YouTube channel to be part of this, because I want to put myself in front of the camera. I want to connect this way with readers and authors, because one of the main important thing for Authortube obviously is hoping to connect with other authors and writers and chat about writing and share common struggles and, you know, help each other through like procrastination and writing sprints and all of the other stuff, because I think it's really important. And it's quite difficult for me to find other writers in real life, for the main reason being I'm actually living in Italy. I've been living in Italy for the past 3 years, and I lived abroad. I'm Italian originally, but I've lived abroad for many years. So I don't really know anybody in this city, because we also moved 1 year ago. And especially I don't know anybody who writes in English, and I write in English. So it's kind of like twice as difficult for me to find writing buddies in real life. So this is kind of like the next best thing. So also please excuse me if I make stupid mistakes while speaking, because apparently after almost 15 years of speaking English, I can still make stupid mistakes because I'm not used to talking to the camera. So number 6, let's continue. What made you want to start writing? I have so many stories I want to tell. That's kind of like the easy answer, isn't it? Like, I think it's very common for writers to answer this way. It's like a double answer. Like, once is to tell my story, the other one is because I was reading and I didn't find the exact stories, or reading other stories written by other people kind of like sparked my imagination, so that I was like, oh, you know, this is interesting. I wonder what would happen if blah 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 blah. So I've always kind of wanted to put down stories in one way or another, and I just kind of, I guess, naturally fell into writing compared to maybe painting or other stuff. And I've always been a big reader, so I've always been surrounded by stories told through books. So that's what I gravitated to naturally. And, you know, I've always kind of been writer on the side, because obviously nobody really tells you, yeah, you can be a writer when you grow up, you know, as a career. So it's always been like something that you did for fun, until now. So number 7, that's a 7. What's your publishing path? So right now I'm gearing up, as I said, to self-publish my first book, which is going to be a book of writing prompts, and I'm hoping to publish that in November. Let's say November, and I'll make a video about that because I don't want to blab too much. And the romance series will be self-published and everything. But in the future, I always also am open to get traditionally published with other books and other stories. Also because I would quite like to write a few short stories, and mostly they will end up being like fantasy or science fiction, and those ones I want to submit to like magazines like Asimov or Fantasy, whatever magazine, and stuff like that. So I would consider that under the traditionally published world. So basically a hybrid author. Yeah. 8. What content do you bring to the Authortube table? I'm hoping to kind of like document my writing journey, and especially using like making writing my career. At the moment I'm like a freelancer for something totally unrelated, but I'm slowly phasing out the freelance work to move completely towards writing and connected endeavors, and that's why I want to use this channel to kind of talk about not only the writing but the business side of writing and self-publishing, and also publishing like from a different country and point of views concerned to writing and books and whatever else from another country, or somebody who doesn't live in America or places like that. I think I can bring a different perspective, or you know, a somewhat different point of view to all of this, and you know, so basically be like writing vlogs, and I'm not big on like how to, like I can try and give some advice concerned to maybe self-publishing once I've launched my book, and because I've been sort of researching and for other reasons involved in self-publishing for quite a while. And also, almost forgot, I also make covers for books, so you know, I can talk about that as well, and how covers are important and what is needed in a cover, and how to choose the right one, and you know, what goes into creating one, or anything else that concerns that part as well, and like general graphics that you need as an author and stuff like that. 9. What's your biggest writing struggle? Getting it written, so procrastination. Yeah, I think that's the main one. Like other struggles, I think, are just moments of when you have a problem with something, like I'm stuck on this outline, or words are always difficult. This is my biggest struggle. I think procrastination and not making time for writing, because as I said, I've been doing freelance work for a while, and then I've realized, especially this last few months after my birthday, I kind of realized that I was like getting older, like I wasn't like 20 anymore, and I thought, what the heck have I been doing? Like I've been sort of like coasting along thinking of, oh, you know, wouldn't it be nice if I could be a writer, and like with my coffee mug and looking out in the distance while I think about writerly things, and you know, with my books published in like 15 languages and millions of copies. And then I realized, well, if you don't start writing the book, you're not gonna end up with, you know, millions of copies if you don't actually write even the first book. Like I've written books before, but they were always abandoned in drafts, and like nothing, you know, I never reached the point where I was actually having a proper complete book and edited and everything else. So yeah, I think that's the struggle, like making writing a priority, if that's what I want to do. Number 10, what's your best writing skill? I want to say like dialogue, but maybe just because it feels easier than writing descriptions. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm such an underwriter that like dialogue is the shortest way that I have to convey what I want to convey and move the scene along, whereas description for me is like, they don't care if there's like a table and then you reread what you've written and you realize that the white room kind of thing, like there's two talking heads, they're not doing anything. So anyway, yeah, probably dialogue is the best skill. And then there's like 11 and 12, you have to choose one, and since I'm new to Authortube, I choose 12. So it's what's your biggest Authortube question? I think my question would be, what would you like to see from maybe somebody who has a slightly different perspective from yours, just because of cultural difference, like since I live in Italy, or if you want to know how it is living in Italy, or what's the writing scene in Italy, or about like making covers or writing on the road, because I've been kind of like moving around quite a lot, so like I never had like my favorite part of the house, because I can't get attached to a place for too long, because I've been moving either voluntarily or involuntarily quite a lot during years. So I'm not one of those people who's had like the same room for 15 years to write in. So my writing spot, it kind of changes. So anyway, if you want to know more about Europe or life in Europe, I've lived around, so if you kind of make writing a book which has part of it set in Europe or something like that and you want help, I'm happy to help. Or if you want help with the self-publishing like as a career, I can probably not necessarily give you my advice, but I can help you find resources, because I have so many things saved on my computer and on bookmarks on the internet that you're more than welcome, and I'll make videos on it. But if you have specific questions, just ask me, or especially or if you want to know more about making covers, and all of that relates to that and stuff like that. So that's it really. Number 13, are you looking for new channels to follow? Other type of writer buddies? Yes, please. So the main things are, yes, new channels to follow. I've kind of stumbled upon the Authortube community while kind of like, YouTube rabbit holes. So basically you start looking about like creativity and writing and stuff like that. And I kind of ended up in this community, and I found out about the Newbie Tag and all of that, and I found so many channels, and I've been binging so many channels in the past 2 months, I want to say. So to make the thing short, yes, so new channels and writing buddies. The moment my schedule is quite strict, so I don't really have time for beta readers, and I don't really do critic partners. Like at the moment, I have a plan and I'm trying to stick to it as close as possible, because I want to get this thing started. So critic partners are something that maybe in the future, and betas, I'd love to have some, but in the future for other books. Like I don't have the schedule at the moment, is just not allowing this, but I'm open to it in the future. And if I have time, I would love to, give time to somebody and be their beta reader. But at the moment, it's just, sorry, just no. So yeah, general writing buddies, like a connection with other authors and writers. I would just love that. Like, share the struggle, share the procrastination together, do writing sprints together, with the caveat that I'm in Europe, so I have an European time zone. So, and also I don't live alone, so I can't really just like be like, oh yeah, I have a writing sprint at like 12 o'clock, at midnight. Can't really do that. So my time is quite limited that way. So, but this kind of type thing. And please do comment down below if you want to, chat or get to know me. And I'll be trying to be active, commenting on other channels as well, obviously. But feel free to just come at me. So 14, what are you most excited for during this new fresh start? So I'm just excited of the sense of community. I love the idea that we can be a supporting community for writers, and I love the idea of being able to see and share the mistakes and the successes and all the little things that make writing life hard and fun at the same time. And I like this sense of the community, like that's my main thing. One of the reasons I decided to start the channel, because it seems so inclusive and so welcoming and so kind of nice, and I don't like the negative dramatic stuff. I'm quiet. I like kind of nice things. So I like a nice community where people can exchange point of views, exchange advice or resources, and shoulder together the problems. I like that, the idea of this. So, and I didn't mention it at the beginning, but I haven't been tagged by anybody, obviously, because I didn't have a channel until 2 days ago, basically. So I've kind of gotten from the original newbie tag video made by Jenny. So as I said, is linked down below, so you can check the original one. And so I want to thank her, especially obviously for creating this, for being an active part of the Authortube community and be such a big part of the, obviously, Authortube community. But I would also like to thank all the other channels that belong to this community, because I've loved discovering you guys, and I love the vibe that you all kind of give, which is, this sense of community and sharing and being nice. And I've had so many moments where I was watching one of your videos and I was like, yes, this is me, I have the same struggles, you're not alone. Or I thought the same thing, or whatever. So yeah, that's it really. I'm not gonna go longer, and I'll try to edit this to keep it kind of short, so don't bore you. So let me just cut it here, and you'll find other videos maybe in the next few days. So yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching all of this, and I hope I'll find you in the comments or in my other videos. So bye.